What did you experience as a student athlete coming in? What are some of the tips? I'd love to pick students' brains, former student brains, on the things that you learned coming as a student, and then we'll talk about the things you learned from Brock. But first, the things that you learned coming in from the D2 all the way to D1, that transition. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, so coming from where I'm from and then going to my Division 2, even that was a big jump. Just being from a small town and then being introduced to it was a smaller school looking back now, but when I first got there, it was like, oh, this is, kind of what college is like and things like that. And then from there, getting to Michigan State, you really saw like what a big Power 5 school kind of was all about in
How, wa-
terms of.
how was the competition for you athletically at the D2 school?
Yeah, so the thing about that most people don't understand about D2 and D1 is the skill positions are pretty much the same. Like it's good skill players everywhere. But the biggest difference is in the offensive line, defensive line, and the linebackers. That D2 to D1, those three positions are it's a drastic change. Just based off size, athletic ability and everything like that. And so when I got to Michigan State, you kind of really got to see what a true a real program was like in terms of every aspect from academics and working with academic advisors and tutors to make sure everybody's eligible to play on Saturdays, to working with dietitians, making sure everybody's healthy and body composition matches position and things like that.
Brock, what did you think about this young man when you first met him? You've already said that he was humble yet confident, and then you saw his first game and he was racking people and crushing people, and you're like, "Ooh, we got something here." What'd you think?
I mean, we got to spend all summer together. And the funny thing is, when you do an internship program like this, not everybody participates at the same level, right? But Kendall and I got to spend a lot of time together over the summer. He was working most days of the week. We got to spend a lot of time. I got to really share with him a lot of about what I do work wise. And I got to gain knowledge from him in terms of like life experience and what he wanted to do with his life. And so that part was the fun, right? That's really fun, right? It's really fun to get to know somebody. You get to care about them. You get to care about what they want to do. And so when it finally got to the season, and even though the win total wasn't what people wanted to see, I I enjoyed so much seeing Kendall be successful on the field. He had such a great year, and that felt good to me to be able to be friends with somebody that was really excelling beyond what other people maybe had given him credit that he could do or whatever. It was awesome to see it, right? It's phenomenal to see people that are great human beings getting their due.
Is that the attitude that got you there, or what was it that got you to the NFL?
Um, I would say it's definitely a mixture of having the right mindset and then having the actions to match the mindset. Um, because you can say, you want to go to the NFL, you're going to the NFL, but it's another thing to go and do it, and do what it takes to actually get there. So, it obviously comes with a lot of sacrifice. You miss out on a lot of things,
Like
pursuing
what? Like what?
like a lot of holidays, summers, um, a
Free
lot.
time,
Yeah, right. So
girlfriend time.
yeah, so you're gonna miss out on a lot, but if it's really something that you want to do, you'll understand like delayed gratification kind of thing. So
First off, Brock, how do you want people to connect with you? I mean, we've given out the phone numbers, the website, and all of those good things. Please, let's hammer that point home, because anybody that listens to this program, I'm hoping they at least listen to what I'm saying about my experience with you and Mike and the whole team over there. That they give you guys a call and give you a shot, like like my former neighbor when you saved his butt that time. Go ahead, please.
I mean, the honestly, just texting me or calling me is the easiest. It's the 517-303-3262 number. If you're uncomfortable and want to message through my website, that's fine. You can go to kwsellingteam.com and reach us that way. But I'm on my phone almost all day, every day. So a call or a text is really going to be the best way to get me.
Kendell, how would you like people to connect with you for speaking engagements, business opportunities, all that kind of stuff? Perhaps other teams that want to offer you another contract. How do you want them to get?
Yeah, you can follow me on social media. My Instagram is first and last name Kendell Brooks, spelled KendellBrooks. That would probably be the best way to get in contact with me.
What do you do? What would you like athletes to know, parents to know, grandparents to know for their aspiring young athletes that are coming along? What kind of advice do you want to give to them? And tell them what you mean. You mentioned it a little bit in the previous segment, but let's take a little more time here and explain what's all involved with all of that.
Yeah, so for the younger athletes, I would definitely say there's a common misconception about like training and development for younger athletes, but it's all about timing really for me because if you look at it, I didn't start playing football until my 10th grade year of high school, which is my sophomore year. So at that point, I was working at like Subway and Burger King, and then I was just basically hanging around. So I wasn't really like training and working and lifting weights, but I had like natural strength from working in the woods and stuff with my family and stuff like that. So when I did start really taking it a little more serious in my sophomore year, it kind of just came naturally in terms of strength and stuff and speed and stuff like that. But for younger athletes, I really think like you don't want to push them too hard. You kind of just want them to enjoy the sport and develop a love for the sport. And then the older that they get, that's when you start to have conversations with them about like if this is something that you really want to pursue as a career, then you probably need to take it a little more serious, start working with a trainer, this and that. But for like the younger kids, I would say probably anywhere from 5 to like 14. It's all about just having fun at the end of the day, really.
But what are some of the things that you pour into your interns for life?
I would say, because here's the thing about internship programs: you don't know exactly how much time you're going to have with people, and so you're trying to make maximum impact in the minimum amount of time because you don't know how much free time they're going to have. So I would say 80% of what I talk about with our interns is mindset, is drawing the correlation between the same attributes that make you a great athlete are going to make you great in life. It's the tenacity for winning, the passion for winning, tracking your results, just being very gritty, very determined. Don't give up on those things. Use them to an advantage. Combined with a lot of talk of being financially good with money. Um, I'm uh, I'm a big reader. I try to give books to people. My wife gets after me about it because she says they don't read them, but a book I give to most people is called A Simple Plan to Wealth, and it's just methodically saving your way to becoming wealthy and understanding compound interest. So uh, we do get into more complex uh, investment strategies, but here's the reality: nobody gets rich without being a great saver, right? You've got to become a great saver and a great investor before you're going to become financially wealthy.
Tell everybody what you're doing with this, how much you learned from Brock and helping you with your transition and how you're investing your money now.
Yeah, so throughout that internship, like Brock said, me and him spent a lot of time together and we had a lot of great conversations about like wealth and wealth management and money management and things like that. So I always knew after that internship that I wanted to be a real estate investor, but not just an investor. I guess if I dive a little deeper, more so real estate development. So when I came home from Arizona, I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to do long term, and I thought that I wanted to be a real estate agent. So I signed up for the course and I started taking the course, but then I realized like I don't really want to be a real estate agent. I want to be more so a developer. So I probably should get my general contractor's license versus a real estate agent's license. So I kind of been looking into that, but through conversation with Brock and through just reading more and learning more and more, quickly realized like I need a cash cow, a cash flow business to invest
Yeah.
into the real estate with. And I didn't necessarily really want it to be my money from the NFL. So what me and my partner decided to do was partner with my family's company and put 2 log trucks on the road to bring in the cash flow, and then we'll take that and invest it into the real estate. So that's kind of what we're
Awesome.
working on right now.
Kendall's taking his money. He's talking about cash flow. He needs to make a little bit of cash flow so that he can reinvest this money. These are the tips and tricks that you learn. And you might learn a little bit of this in school, right, Kendall?
Yeah, for sure. I always tell people all the time, like if I didn't play sport, I probably wouldn't have gone to school for the education, but more so for the networking, because it's much more valuable to find a mentor that's doing something that you want to do than sitting in a classroom. And it also depends on what you want to do in life. Like obviously,
Yeah.
if you want to become a doctor, then you need to go to
You
medical
got to go.
school and learn stuff like that. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's probably best to try to find you a mentor that's doing whatever you want to do and just learn as much as you can.
Brock, what are you seeing now in the second quarter, going into the third quarter of 2025? What's you're usually pretty close on your prognostications. How is the market? How are the rates? How is the supply? Give us that snapshot, and then we'll go into the story with KB.
Um, so I I'm seeing a much greater opportunity for buyers to be successful right now. Um, the market has been a little bit slow to start the year, and I don't think it's going to stay that way for long. I think people are just having a bit of a hangover after the first of the year here, but low inventory, that remains the same. Interest rates are right around 6.75%, 6.5% on any given day. I do think we'll see interest rates come down by the time we get to the fourth quarter, provided that inflationary numbers, still trend in the right direction. But I think the great, I mean, I want to speak to opportunity. I see a great opportunity for buyers to buy without competition right now. And as I'm talking, it's almost frustrating sometimes to talk with buyers because they're talking about waiting. And I just don't understand waiting for more competition to come to the market, right?
Right.
Why when you can buy a home without competing with 10 other people right now, why are we waiting for rates to come down or something to happen that's going to just bring more competition to the market, right? More people to compete against you. So buyers, you should be buying if you have a life-changing experience that requires you to purchase, you should do it now. Quit waiting for more competitors to come to the market.
Why they want to get with a guy like Brock Fletcher.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. If any aspect of real estate is something that you're interested in, I would definitely recommend doing the internship program with the selling team, because even if you don't want to be an agent or decide not to be an agent, you still learn so much valuable information and you gain access to so much stuff. Like through that internship, I was able to start taking the course to get my license. And through taking the course, I was able to learn about all this different stuff and what it actually takes to buy, sell, and the whole process. And that's how I figured out, okay, I don't want to be an agent, but I do want to be a developer and a builder. So that's what's propelling me to do the things that I'm doing now.
Brock, when you hear stuff like that from a former intern and now a professional athlete and friend, Kendell Brooks, how does that make you feel?
Oh, good. Yeah, it makes me feel great because my in terms of things that are most important in my life to me is making an impact, right? I want what I do to matter, and it matters most when you can help people, right? At the end of the day, you can't take your money with you, right? When your day's over, um, you can't take anything materially. all you're leaving is your legacy, your impact, right?
I'd take the next minute and a half for a takeaway.
Takeaway from this show
Yes, sir.
specifically.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so just I guess the biggest takeaway is gratitude and relationships. And I think it goes both ways. Like the moment he called and asked if I would be interested in doing the show, it was no hesitation just because of the relationship that we already had. I knew and I trusted that he wouldn't put me in a situation that could affect me negatively or anything like that. So it's like when you build and you nurture these relationships and you come across these opportunities to do like a radio show like this, for instance, or it could have been something else. It might have been a business opportunity or anything. So I think just never underestimate the power of relationships and I think that'll be the biggest takeaway for me.
That was fantastic. Kendell Brooks is a fantastic young man who just has it going on, doing a good thing. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And Brock Fletcher, another success story of an intern who is busting his butt, and Brock saw something in him. And you know what? His takeaway saying gratitude and relationships, nothing better than that. And I'm going to sign off with that. Thank you to everyone for watching, listening, subscribing, doing all those good things, making us popular on YouTube. Thank you so much for all the kind words. All the people that are putting the kind words on YouTube. So great. Thank you so much. Till next time, I'm Papa Tom. Peace out. Love y'all.